local people, important issues. CBS 10 WILM's weekly focus on the Lower Cape Fear region. This is Byline Wilmington with your host, Don Ansell.
At the age of 14, child prodigy Sheikh Soko left the Ivory Coast. That's a small African nation on the west coast of the continent. You see it on your screen now, bordering Liberia, Guinea, Ghana, and Mali. He toured the world as a musician and eventually came to settle in Wilmington, North Carolina. This morning, he joins us to tell us his compelling story of his life in his native land, how he came to leave the Ivory Coast, his take on America, and his life today. Sheikh, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to host you this morning. I've been following Sheikh's career for a couple of years now, and he has quite a story to tell. You were born what year?
I was born in 1981.
In 81. So what were your early memories in the Ivory Coast? What was your early memories? What are your early memories of growing up there?
My early memories were school, my parents.
How large a family?
I'm sorry?
How large a family?
A very large family, comprised of over 100 people in terms of
But your immediate
relatives.
family, your
immediate family.
brothers and sisters?
13.
13?
Yes.
And your parents?
And parent, 13.
Wow. So where were you in that mix? There were 13?
13, I was right in the middle. I was about, I think, the sixth child.
You were like sixth?
Yeah.
And what were living conditions like for your family?
I mean, Ivory Coast, of course, is very difficult. There's not much money, just like other areas of Africa. But people are able to come together and pull through. So we were very agricultural.
Did your family farm?
My family and other relatives, we all have part in land, in agriculture.
So you lived like with other members of the family on some land. In what kind of a structure did you live in?
In structure.
A house?
Yeah, we lived in a very communal, big fence around several homes, in about almost 30 homes in one area.
And each home is what? Several rooms, one room?
Each home will have about 2 to 3 rooms and...
wooden?
No, not wooden. Will be brick.
Okay.
Brick houses, and we'll have 2 to 3 bathroom, and for maybe each 5 or each 6 houses.
And what's the climate like there?
It's very tropical. It's very warm, and
all the time.
Yeah, very warm. 80, 85, 90, most of the time.
Well, what was the town like? Well, first of all, what was the name of the town where you grew up?
So I grew up in Kumasi, and Kumasi is in Abidjan, which is in Ivory Coast.
Again, we have our map for our viewers to see. The blue shaded area on the west coast is the Ivory Coast. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Kumasi is the latest town in Abidjan, and Abidjan is the capital of Ivory Coast. And growing up there, great memories, friends, family, very close relation with, everyone in the neighborhood.
What was everyday life like? So you'd get up, you'd go to school?
Yeah, because I left there when I was very young, the things I was doing were typical of a kid who get up early in the morning and get ready and walk to school. Right. Most of the time I walk 3-4 miles every day to school, and come home and go through either chores, the family.
Your chores.
Yeah, chores, and then start again. So, yeah.
What kind of, you went to school?
Yes.
What kind of school?
It's you say elementary,
Was that like
kindergarten, elementary,
right. And you went how
school. I went all the way to, actually I got to high school, okay, and I was very good with school. So I got to high school around the age of 14, I was able to get to 11th grade. So I didn't make it quite to 12th grade.
Because you left.
Because I left.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. But what did you know about America growing up? Was America a land of promise to you, or what were your perceptions of America?
My perception of America was this foreign place where money grows on trees.
Yeah.
And as a child, you get this idea. People say, you know, America, you have everything you want. So you start thinking, everything I want, you can have apple on the tree, money on the floor, you can just pick up. So that was my perception.
Did it make you want to come here?
Of course. You wouldn't want to go somewhere where money and apples on the tree. You can just take it anytime you want.
Tell our viewers what you said to me before you went on the air when I asked you what your perceptions of America were. Do you remember what you said to me? You said Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yes. That's one of the things I was really watching. In Africa, we have this channel, actually MTV. It's known in Africa, ironically.
Did you have television in your home?
We did have television, and actually we were one of the house that had television in the whole neighborhood.
Would come
and people would just come to watch, you know, the news. You will have 20, 30 people gathered around like watching a big cinema. You know?
Oh, it was like going to the movies at your house.
It was like going to the movie at the house.
Right,
and so when the TV's on, the house is crowded.
What were your dreams as a young boy growing up on the Ivory Coast?
Well, growing up in the Ivory Coast, I've always wanted to dance and drum, and that's what I've done.
Always?
Always.
Where did that come from?
It came from just growing up in a family of musicians and
So
dancers.
your family was very musical?
My father's very, very talented guitar player, and for the longest time he was part of a band. And my mother's a singer, she's a dancer, and my cousin, they're great artists, always on TV, you know, performing. So I've always wanted to be one of those, you know, performers, and I've come to be that at a very young age.
What language did you speak growing up?
Growing up, I spoke French, which was
national.
National.
Because it was a French colony at one time.
Yes, it was a colony one time, and so French. And then there were other languages, because in Ivory Coast we have about 60 different languages.
Wow. So
my family, my father spoke about 3 languages, and my mother spoke, I think, 2 or 3. So I've come to speak Bambara, which is and Bambara, and Dula, and some Senefu. So I was growing up speaking 3 languages, and also with French.
We're going to take a break. You left when you were 14.
Yes.
Toured the world.
Toured the world.
We'll talk about that next. Stay with us.